Don't chase money, don't chase fame, don't chase attention from potential romantic partners. Don't even wish for it just yet until you do this one thing. Hello everyone, my name is June Yu. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I absolutely love talking to you guys in the comments, so make sure you leave some below. Give this video a thumbs up and of course subscribe. This video is extremely important to me, especially recently as I've gone to try and mentor a lot of people my age and a few that are a little bit younger than me. And I've realized that a lot of us are haunted by this desire to live an accelerated pace of life. And perhaps it's because whenever we open up our phones, we're bombarded by 20-year-olds making $20,000 a month. And somehow that's become a realistic expectation or even a healthy desire. And it couldn't be further from the truth for reasons that I'll explain in this video. Materialistic gain can open up the window for a lot of really cool opportunities, a lot of fulfilling experiences. I've been very fortunate to have success up to this point in my life, and it's allowed me to do some really special things for my family, for my church, for my community. It's been allowing me to experience a lot of other opportunities that I am so blessed to have. And so absolutely you can do that, but trust me when I say this, that type of materialistic gain, when it becomes yours, when it becomes tangible to you, it can also open up the window for a lot of potential evil. You see, if you haven't developed yourself yet, and that's what I want you to do, and that's what I'm going to encourage in this video, is that you should first develop you. Develop your mental, develop your physical, and develop your spiritual aspects of you. Try to become the highest, most attractive version of you. That should be your desire when you are 20 years old or something. Heck, that should be your desire when you're younger than that, when you're older than that, because that materialistic gain will become a byproduct of the type of person that you can become, that person that you want to become. It will just happen naturally for you. But the difference is you'll actually be prepared to make the right decisions when you have it. You'll be prepared to be responsible enough to have that type of materialistic gain, keep it, maintain it, and then even grow with it. And it doesn't affect you in a negative fashion as it does for a lot of individuals that unfortunately I've been around. There are a lot of moments when I'm surrounded by people that have way more success than me. They have a lot more materialistic gain than me, right? They have a lot more money than me. They have a lot more popularity than me. They have a lot more attention than me. Whatever you want to describe that to be, they have a lot more status than me of this world. It's natural to, I think, position yourself against them and see, yeah, oh my goodness, like there's so much more ahead than me. But there's so many moments where I hear the way that they speak about their significant others, or the way that I hear them speak about people, and the way that they speak about business, etc. And it comes from a very selfish place, right? It's almost like they're speaking down upon them. It's like, because I have all of this materialistic gain, because I have all these things of the world, that I can view myself as better than somebody. And that makes you deviate from your morals, especially if that materialistic gain came to them early. A lot of social media creators these days, it's so cool. I think it's one of the greatest blessings of my life. But when you are putting that type of responsibility on a young person that hasn't developed themselves just yet, you shouldn't be surprised when they're making poor decisions later on, right? When they're making decisions that actually harm them, when they're making decisions that they think are actually protecting their financials and protecting everything that they've built up to this point. But in reality, it's making them deviate from their morals. It's making them deviate from their values. And they've idolized what this materialistic gain has been. And it does so much more evil than good. And so that's the forewarning that I want to give to all of you guys. You see, just because somebody has these types of materialistic gains and they make it so public, and then you look at that and you're thinking, oh my goodness, I want that. Be careful thinking that God is blessing them with that, because that couldn't be further from the truth, because you don't know what's going on behind the scenes, right? You have no idea what's going to happen to them 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line, 40 years down the line. You have no idea, because if they're chasing after the wrong things without ever having developed themselves personally, it's only a matter of time till they make the wrong decisions, where all those things will come crashing down. It will go up in flames. It will ruin everything, right? And that's what happens when you haven't gone through the process, the rigorous process of looking at yourself in the mirror and holding yourself accountable. For everyone watching this video, that's my message to you. I don't want you to try and value those things that the world makes you try to value, right? Everyone tries to make you value how much money you make or what your status is or how much attention you can get from potential romantic partners. It's so wrong, because if you haven't done the right things, and if you haven't matured just yet, if you haven't become that high value individual just yet, you're gonna go ahead and find yourself in areas of so much temptation, and you're gonna make the wrong decisions, and then everything that you think is good is actually gonna turn into a lot of evil. It's so important that you take the time right now to forget about all of those things, right? And yeah, you can have it in the back of your mind as like future goals of yourself, but your goal right now should be exactly this. How can I be the best version of myself? How can I not take any shortcuts, no get rich quick schemes, nothing like that? How can I constantly put myself in uncomfortable situations? How can I put myself in stressful situations where I know that it's in the discomfort that I grow? So how can I put myself in those experiences so that I can develop as a human being? How can I go ahead and do daily scripture readings? How can I do daily exercising? How can I do daily journaling? What can I do to improve myself mentally, physically, and spiritually? That's what's important, because everything else, materialistic things, will come as a byproduct of those things. Trust me, if you think that you becoming an expert at what it is that you do and then being healthy in all three ways won't lead to those materialistic gains, you're out of your mind. I promise you that it will. And when you do that, you will be in a position where you're matured enough to be responsible with that type of material gain, right? This frustrates me more than anything, but how many times do you hear somebody talk about other potential partners while they're in a relationship, right? How they speak about other girls or how they speak about other guys, and they'll say something like, oh, but I would never cheat on my girlfriend, or I would never cheat on my boyfriend, I would never cheat on them. And it's like, I don't know about that, right? Like, if you're speaking and you're thinking about things in that way, I am of the belief that perhaps you just weren't given the opportunity to just cheat on your significant other just yet. I think that's more likely than you actually having the maturity to be loyal and to be responsible and to be somebody that actually sticks to their values. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many moments in which you can hear somebody speak and you can hear what's actually in their mind, and you think to yourself, like, I truly want you to think about, if they had the opportunity to do X, Y, and Z, to do all this evil, would they do it? Well, I promise you, those materialistic gains will give them the opportunity to do those things. Like, they say all those things while they're in a relationship, and then when they get in the relationship and they have thousands of DMs for potential significant others, are they so mature in themselves, so sure of themselves? Have they developed themselves mentally, physically, and spiritually to look at that and think to themselves, yeah, I'm not gonna even entertain that, right? Like, I know where my morals and my values reside. I know where my priorities reside. Can that individual do that if they haven't developed themselves just yet and they're constantly just chasing the materialistic gain that will give them that type of opportunity? Does that kind of make sense? I think that it's something that gets so lost in the fold. It's something that nobody really speaks about. But in reality, it's the most important thing. If you are somebody that is 20 years old, that is plus or minus 5 years of that, right? If you're 15, if you're 25, whatever it may be, I think your goal should be absolutely on a daily basis crushing it in life. And that means, how can you be the best version of you, right? How can you really do that? And I think that by the time that we become a little bit older and those types of materialistic gains should become a byproduct of the type of hard work that we've put in, the honest accountability that we've put ourselves through, that we will be in a stage in which that we can actually handle that type of responsibility. Just trust me when I say this. It's something that I didn't notice. It's something that I didn't realize was so important. And it's something that I'm so grateful that I had my parents, that I had some people that really wanted to guide me in the right direction. I'm in a position in life where those things just genuinely don't tempt me, right? There's a lot of evil that can happen when you have that type of financial gain, but none of those things tempt me because I've gone through the process of developing myself. And trust me, it's always an ongoing process, and not something that you do for like 2 years and you're like, yeah, I'm good, I'm personally developed to the fullest of my abilities. No, it's something that you have to constantly put yourself on a daily basis. But because I do that, everything else is just naturally going to come. I really believe that, right? It's the thought that sometimes it's really not about going out into the world and constantly looking for the things that we want, constantly searching for the things that we want, but instead looking internally and trying to develop ourselves to be the best that we can possibly be so that we can attract the things that is meant for us, that are meant for us, right? I really do think that's how we should envision it. If you're staying up to this point in the video, I hope that really hit home for you. I hope that can at least change your perspective. There's so many instances in which people look at how hard I try still in school, and they'll say, it doesn't make any sense. You're in your final year, you've had all this success outside of school, you could even drop out, etc., etc. And I'm like, you just don't get it. You don't get it. It's never been about the financial gain. It's never been about the great grades. It's never been about the type of status or the type of popularity. It's never been about that. It's about every single day, can I show up for myself? It's about every single day, can I do the things that actually matter for me, not something that is put onto me as an expectation from others, but literally, is it something that's of value to me? Is it something that gets me going? And then can I show up for myself even when it gets really hard? Can I develop the mental, the spiritual, and the physical aspects that are so intertwined and so interconnected? Can I develop that? Because if I can develop that, all those other type of successes will become byproducts of that work that I put in. That's what I want for you guys. Like, I don't want you guys to stop at the A, or I don't want you guys to stop at the first big source of income. I don't want you guys to stop at the first level of success, whatever that looks like for you. Don't think about that as the materialistic win. Think about how can you develop yourself so those things become byproducts. You stick with that type of mentality over the long run, I promise you'll find yourself at new heights. You'll find yourself in places that people can only dream to have, and then you'll be able to sustain it, maintain it, and then even grow with it, unlike a lot of people that faced a lot of failures when eventually they get to that point in life, right? It could be 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the line, but they will experience it. It's those individuals that have prepared themselves that can actually do good with it, that can stick to their values, that can stick to their morals, and then actually continue to live a life that's fulfilling to them. I know that I got a little passionate with this one. I think it's just something that a lot of us need to hear, and hopefully that this video was an awakening for you to hopefully put your eyes in the right places, right? To garner your attention where it actually should be, and not in places that society tries to tempt you to be at. So don't chase after those worldly things. Don't chase after those materialistic gains until you've developed yourself personally, so that you know that you can be able to make mature decisions when you have them. I love you guys so much. If you enjoyed this video, leave some thoughts in the comments below. I'm more than happy to respond to you guys. Give this video a thumbs up, and of course, subscribe. So until next time, please take care. I love you guys.